But without further ado, we got lookintoad coming on in, and they're going to do some Mega Man 4 for us.
Hey everybody, my name is lookintoad, and I speedrun Mega Man 4. Also do some Kaizo hacks, we'll see a little bit of that later. I just want to say thank you to everyone that helped get the incentive met, and everybody else who's donated so far. From what I understand, it's been a crazy success, so thank you to everybody. I'm very excited to show this hack. It doesn't get to be shown off very often. It's just a cosmetic hack. It's Mega Man 4, but you get to play as Roll. Instead of Rush, you get Tango, and you get some pretty cool polished up sprites, especially with the Robot Masters. So I'm excited to play it. And Mega Man 4 in general has just been insane lately. The world record has changed hands twice in like the past week, where it had been standing for since 2017. So I'm just excited. This game is really spicy right now. It's really fun visually, very fun to play. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started, and we'll start talking about the run. I'll go ahead and get counting down here.
Wonderful. I'm excited to see it.
Alrighty, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so we have two major routes that you'll see, Pharaoh first and Bright first. Pharaoh first is faster by about 6 seconds, although the new world record was Bright first for a day and then came back to Pharaoh first. Doing Pharaoh first, actually, the Pharaoh stage ends up being slightly slower than if you were to do Bright first, for reasons that we'll see later after I collect the Bright weapon. The advantage of doing this, though, is that you come here and you get the balloon, which I'm actually going to swap to Tango Coil, our first instance of Tango Coil. Oh no, I missed balloon! That's the most tragic thing. I should have gone for it without it. But that's okay. For the sake of the run, I'm actually probably going to take a death so I can get balloon, because the strats are absolutely fabulous. A little bit of a bummer to mess up a safe strat right at the beginning. Anybody who's familiar with the run that's watching, I'm sure, is laughing and feeling so sad for me. One of the most tragic things you can have happen at the beginning of the run, and thankfully it's a nice reset point, because it's not so tragic if you have to reset over it if you're doing PB attempts. So a little bit of levity right at the run, not too bad, doesn't slow us down too much. We can still get a really good pace going, so we'll get this balloon and we'll move on to Bright. So that's the normal way to do it. I should have just done that, because that's how I always do it, but tried to play it safe, and we ended up goofing. So anyway, we're cruising on through, and this is what we were after, the balloon item. The balloon item is very iconic for this game. It's used to do so many cool strats. Hopefully we'll do those successfully. But it's used to save a lot of time in the game. It's only about a 30-second difference, maybe, to miss it truly. So if your time isn't super optimized, it's not incredibly heartbreaking to have to miss balloon. But in the case of doing an exhibition where we're showing off some of the cool strats, I think it's worth it to just go right back and pick it up. Okay, heading into the final room before Pharaoh Man. Pharaoh Man himself is tricky. he can do a bunch of different stuff depending on what he feels like doing. He can either behave very nicely or he can just be very rude. He'll either stand there and shoot charge shots at you, or he'll jump to your location, or he'll just jump around all crazy and be throwing around shots. So what we hope for is to just have him throw those big charge shots, and if you stand close to him, the proximity makes him more likely to do it. Ah, see, he decided to jump. A common thing I say is never trust Pharaoh, and yet I always do. I always trust him to not jump, and that my charge shot will hit him. But as you can see, it's not too bad if he decides to just kind of camp and shoot those charge shots at you. So we got him. There, if you're in the exact center of the screen, you'll zip to the middle to collect the energy. Let's see if I got it. I didn't. You have to be in a very specific spot. To be honest, I usually play this game with Mega Man, so the visual cues I use for Mega Man's feet are completely different than Roll's. So I've practiced them a little bit with Roll, but it's still not super uncommon at all. I'll miss them because her feet are all close together, whereas Mega Man stands with a wide stance and those burly arms and his stoic face. So anyway, we're heading into Bright now. And this is where it gets really different. Because because if you do Bright first, you're just taking Buster through this whole stage. You're fighting Bright with Buster. You're at the mercy of the RNG of these grasshoppers that are coming up. They can either jump big or small. In this screen, we got a big jump. That's great. No drop there. Let's see what we get here. A small jump. You can actually make it if you go for it. There's like a 4-frame window. In runs, I go for it, but in the marathon setting, especially after missing Balloon, I'm going to be a little wary, just a little bit. Okay, gonna just cruise on through. This is where we switch to Balloon, and this is where it gets crazy, so let's see if we get these strats. We get the nice pink balloons instead of Mega Man's red ones. Woo! I should be dead! We messed up the strat severely. Again, anyone watching that runs this game, I'm sure, is just laughing for me. Good recovery, though. We didn't waste any balloons that we would use for these little baby strats I'm doing right here. A little hectic, but thanks, shoutouts to the totem for firing a bullet to deboost off of, so I didn't just crash right into the spikes. So, here we go. Just, it looks a little scary seeing Roll walk on the edge of the platform like that, but they actually catch you. You can't walk off of them. So once you get used to it, it's actually very stable. So other than using the balloon, here's the big difference in fighting Bright. You fight him with the Pharaoh weapon. The Pharaoh weapon, when fully charged, does 3 damage like a charged Buster shot. But you retain a full one to throw immediately right away. So if you play fast, it's basically like doubling up on those Buster shots. And you can save some good time doing that. And we actually had a pretty decent fight. He was relatively well behaved. We got our hits in without too much delay in between the iframes. So, and we got the center pixel. Yay! Success. Alright, so we're starting a ring stage soon. It's a stage of mini-bosses. It has like 4 mini-bosses. Thankfully, 3 of them you essentially skip, 1 of them you quick kill. This would normally be the first instance of balloons. I'll go ahead and let you guys watch the vertical. Are there any donations? This would be a good time to maybe squeeze a couple in if you have some.
We don't have any new donations yet, but we do still have our 2 incentives for Celeste and for the selfie with Ganon. Oh, scratch that. We just got a donation. Just as I said that, from Mr. Jerky Jerky. They say, I don't think I can stay up until the Celeste block, but good luck to Aurora, and let's get that Core B showcase. All the runners are doing great for a great cause. Thank yous, :D. Thank
Awesome.
you so much, Mr. Jerky Jerky. I appreciate it a bunch. I love your name. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of you might be familiar with Celeste. It's pretty hype. But if you're not, and even if you are, it's definitely a good incentive to be to put towards. The more Celeste you can get, the better. It's a fantastic game visually. So definitely get in on that. It's just a wonderful game.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I think everybody that when they first saw Celeste was like, oh, this is going to be in GDQ. This is a speed game right here. So yeah, very exciting. We're cruising on through the mini bosses here. You might have seen me skip those 2 hippos. Thankfully, you just take a little bit of damage to get right through them. Quick killed that other boss. It was a little sloppy, but we managed to pull it off well. As you can see, I'm killing a lot of stuff that might not even hit me. One reason that we do that in this game is that if there's a lot of sprites on screen, the game really slows down. Oops, didn't grab the ladder. So there's a lot of strategic lag management with not having too many bullets on screen, with taking enemies off screen as fast as you can. This stage is very tightly routed for that. As you see, I'm getting to Ringman with very low health and about medium ammo. Normally you have just enough ammo, but I got some drops. Okay, and there's Ringman. He's dead. That fight's actually very consistent. It looks pretty spooky, but once you get the hang of it, it's the same thing every time. So even though you get there with super low health and it's like chances are you'll make it out if you just grinded your strats. So now we're going on from Ringman stage into Dustman stage. Dustman stage is one of the scariest stages in the game by far. Definitely where you start to get a little bit more nervous. Ringman can be a little tense if you're on a good pace, but when you start getting into Dustman, you're just like, oh, okay. for reasons you'll see very shortly, I'm going to switch to the Pharaoh weapon and take out these guys coming out of these pits. Run one wrong input and I am just dead. They will knock me into the pit. So we have to aim our shots very carefully, because you can aim the Pharaoh shots either up, down, or in front of you. See if we can get the thing. Cool, we made it under the little jump with a nice, well-placed slide cancel. So this is the lag room. You're gonna see me try to take these guys out like that as soon as I can. And we didn't get any drops, which is absolutely phenomenal. The drops really slow down the game, so that was some really good luck for that room. Next, we're moving into the Crushers, the next big death trap and run killer. Hopefully we'll make it through, get the fast Crushers. Roll's gonna be just escaping very narrowly Indiana Jones style if we get it. Oh, we can still get it! Okay. Woo! A little scary, but Roll makes it. Good job, Roll. Alright, so cruising on up. Take a little D-boost here. Whoop, pop. And then we're gonna head on into Dustman. Hopefully we don't get stomped by this guy. If our movement's good, it won't matter. It wasn't good, so we got stomped. Unfortunate, because, so here's a joke for you. I actually came up with this. I'm known for it in the community, so I don't mean to toot my own horn, but Dustman sucks. Get it? Because he's a vacuum guy, and he does that where he just starts sucking. Oh! So, okay, so whenever he does that, I have to hit him with my body to make him stop. Otherwise, he'll just do it for about 4 seconds, a little over. See, I can't. Nothing I can do. Just RNG. He's just robbing me of time. The only way to stop him is to hit him with my body, and contact damage in this game is huge. It does about 8 damage per Robot Master, except for Pharaoh Man, so you only have, so many times you can bonk him like that before, you just have to accept your fate. But yeah, if you make that joke about Dustman and him sucking, definitely credit me, please. So, yeah. Original joke, do not steal.
That's a great joke, I loved it.
Right? I know, so clever. No one had ever thought about it until recently.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I totally did.
Okay, so we're heading into Skull. Skull's another balloon stage. Any balloon stage I am a huge fan of. They are just super cool. We're going to see our only zip in the game. If you've ever watched Mega Man 1 or 2, you know it's a game where tons of zips. Zips are basically where you suck yourself through a wall. In Mega Man 1 and 2, they didn't really... The programmers made it so that if you did get sucked in a wall, you got spit out. It would just shoot you through the wall until you came out somewhere. So runners use this to their advantage to skip whole screens, So that was scary. The Mega Man 1 and 2 any percent runs are just a treat to watch if you like cool glitches and zips. Fell a little bit. Climbing ladders is super slow, so you're going to see me try to use the balloons to skip them. When the balloon is disappearing like that, and we're wall jumping Mega Man X style, the balloon is actually existing in the wall for about 10 frames. So it's still there, the shape of it is there as a platform to jump on, even though you can't see it. And 10 frames doesn't sound like a lot of time. It's a 60 frame per second game, so it's about a sixth of a second. But that's a pretty generous amount of time once you kind of get used to the game. On paper it sounds scary, but it's very doable, and a lot of new runners shy away from those strategies because they think they look impossible, but it's definitely a case of it looking harder than it is. So now we're moving into Dust, another fight, or rather Skull, excuse me. Another consistent fight. The only thing he'll do is have a skull barrier. He gets at least one. He can either drop it right away or leave it up for 4 seconds, so that's another, big RNG thing that we got. About a medium, just under medium, not too bad. Could be definitely worse. As far as classic Mega goes, I would say this game is just pretty RNG heavy, really, and it's also the longest classic Mega with a world record that just happened last night by Ohan, 37:11. So all the other classic Megas are shorter. Something you saw me do at the end of Skull Stage, and something you'll see me do for the next 3 stages, is use the Flash Stopper. So the Flash Stopper is a broken weapon in this game. And what it does is it freezes the screen, and normally I believe it's 5 seconds until it unfreezes. It uses only a little ammo to freeze, and you can still use your Buster, so it's very valuable already in that sense. But there's an amazing glitch where if you're sliding, the timer for it to unfreeze does not go down. So if you have really good movement, you can just extend it for a very long time. So you're going to see me basically switch to Bright at the beginning and keep it till the end. Hold on, I use my teeth to mash, actually. Give me a sec. Okay. Sorry, I have to move the mic away to do that. So shoutouts to Prizzy, the original Tooth Masher. I tried it just as a curiosity at first when I first started running, but it ended up being faster than my thumb mash. So yes, I actually bring the controller to my face and bang it on my tooth. So,
wow, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's a little unique. I think if you learn to double mash and all these other techniques, it's faster and more reliable. But Prizzy does it like it's nothing. So, and I've gotten okay at it, but it's just what I know now, so it's what I do. Here we go, another one. All right. Okay. You can get a nice one jump mash if you do it nice and tight. I didn't get it either of those times, unfortunately, but that's okay. Woo! A little bit scary deep slide there. So something you'll see me do is some walking in this stage, or you saw rather, because it's done. If you're sliding, you can't jump out of a slide underwater because the water counts as a foreground tile, and for some reason the game disagrees with your ability to jump out of a slide. So you have to cancel Mega Man 6 style, which is very hard if you're not used to it. I think I wasted an ammo, so yeah, okay, I did. So you get there with very specific ammo for Dive Man. So I opted to take some damage and goof around a little bit to not have to switch to Buster. Menus are very slow in this game. Or Dust, rather. Dust is the backup. So a little bit of a messy fight, but we made it out of there okay. This would be a good time for donations. I'm just going to open up Drillman stage with Flash Stopper again. You can just kind of enjoy some movement if there's some donations.
Okay, we don't have any new donations yet, but we are about $900 away from our $7,500 goal. So if you'd like to help us hit that in the chat, do an exclamation point donate. It'd be super, super awesome if we can hit that goal tonight.
Awesome, because this is kind of, we're at the closing ceremonies now, right? Kind of the last stretch.
The final stretch.
Yeah, so let's all power up, bring it in to make a nice strong close as we enjoy these final runs. And big shout outs to everybody for their runs and everybody putting this together. I am very pleased to be a part of this. I have always enjoyed furry stuff and I have furry friends, but I've never really done anything with the community before, so when I saw this was happening, I was like, oh yeah, I would really like to do this. So I feel very honored to be able to contribute to a good cause and use my skills with some really cool people, so thank you for having me.
We're happy you're here.
Sweet. So this last room is a really good test of your movement. Basically, if you have really good sliding, you won't have to refreeze the screen because you're lengthening it long enough, but it takes really good chain sliding. I'm gonna have to refreeze probably about here, yeah, because I had some bad movement. So as you can see, I used Flash Stopper all the way throughout the entire stage. That's how powerful it is, and I'm keeping it in the room. I'm gonna switch as he dives. This boss is horrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're always guaranteed one dive from him, and he can just dive at random like that, and it wastes, I think, a little over a second. I try to make him spawn from the corner, because if he starts walking, he will always walk to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which maximizes his screen time in that sense, so that way you can get in the hits you want to get. Like, see there, he starts walking. Thankfully, the missiles behaved. There's some really funny clips out there of runners fighting with the missiles. They will literally do a figure 8 around Drillman before they hit him, trying to figure out how to hit him, and sometimes like he'll just do another dive while you're waiting for your missile to try to hit him, and you're just like, wow, great weapon, thank you, video game. Okay, next up is Toadman. Oh, we get to see Tango for the first time. Big shoutouts to Tango. Love the sprite art in this. It's a really cool hack. There's actually Rollchan hacks for all the classic Megas. So pretty cute, fun way to replay the game. And so now we're entering Toadman. Toadman did nothing wrong. He just wants to boogie and dance. He was just roped into this.
Oh, I love Toadman. They look so cool.
Yeah, he's a saint. Never did nothing bad. Oh no, okay, woo, I thought I was dead. So Toadman is infamously one of the hardest robot masters in all of Mega Man history. Like, even today in Mega Man 11, he's kind of set a precedent in terms of, like, what not to do, actually, with robot masters, because he's just so unfair. And so we'll see what happens. We'll get there and see what kind of fight we can put up. But there's so many runs that have died to Toad, so excuse me if we die. There are Mega Man there are runners in the chat right now, I'm sure, that are just so mad at me right now for reasons you will see. But that will be revealed shortly. So we're using, we used Flash Stopper. I didn't mention it, but those are snail mini bosses back there that if you've played this game casually, they're super annoying to fight, just like those hippos. Thankfully, Flash Stopper just lets us skip them. So here we go, boss fight time, hardest boss in the history of Mega Man, maybe even video games. Toadman himself. Let's go. Wow. I can't believe I made it, to be honest. That was really close. I think you saw there how much danger I was in. But thankfully we did it. If you have played this game casually, everyone usually does Toad first, because unfortunately he's programmed to jump whenever you shoot. So you can literally either just do charge shots or mash buster and you will win. Like, he will just sit there and he will keep trying to jump while you shoot him, but it interrupts his pattern while you shoot him. So he's just caught in a loop of either trying to dance or jump and just standing there while you shoot him. So I just had to play up, a whole big deal about Toadman being the hardest, because he gets no respect. He's infamously the easiest boss of all time. So thank you for letting me put up that charade. Like I said, I'm sure there were forerunners in chat that were groaning. I'm like, oh, of course.
You had me fooled.
Yeah, he's. That's like I had to pull a sweet delusion for the goofs. But speaking of goofs, we're moving into the Cossack stages. Casually, these are super hard. I don't know what possessed them to do this, but they took out boss checkpoints for these stages. So if you die against the boss, you have to go back to the middle of the stage, which if you're, playing casually, especially like as a kid, that doesn't give you many opportunities to learn the boss in a way that's like fast and reasonable. You basically just have to get in there and die, go back and die until you figure out what you want to do. So, very punishing. As a speedrunner, it's easy to forget, because pretty much everything that, ends up killing me, I reset, so... but yeah, very, very punishing. In the words of the great Fasta, legendary Mega Man speedrunner, I only know 2 speeds, fast and reset. But no, it's a very challenging game. This screen right here in particular is very dangerous. We use the balloon for some ladder skips, otherwise you have to mess around and go in all these little areas down there. Thankfully we made it through, and we're moving on to the first boss in the Cossack stages. So also very interesting, this was the first Mega Man game where Wily was not the boss. They actually went with Dr. Cossack. So, it's very neat. It's a very unique game. A lot of people really underestimate 4 in terms of creativity, music, and gameplay. Mega Man 2 and 3 are definitely more iconic in terms of when Mega Man is being represented outside of the series. But there's a lot of good things to say about Mega Man 4, in my opinion. Of course, I'm very biased. So is Mothraia. Something brief to mention about him. A very small hitbox, and that ring, for as big as it looks, has a 1-pixel hitbox in the very center of it. So it is very common that you think you're going to be hitting something, and the ring just seems to be passing through it without even hitting it. So they gave it a big old sprite with a tiny hitbox. Alright, so here we go. This is a very dangerous stage. The most tightly routed stage in the game. I use all of my balloon ammo exactly how I want to use it. And I use all of my health exactly how I want to use it. Health in this stage is basically second ammo. And I already am goofing really bad. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, so we can resume. I saved it-ish. So, taking our D-boost, using the balloons to try to go fast. I already used health in a bad way when I bombed the little Necron skull dude. So there's a strat I can't do against the boss now because I wasted that health. But that's fine. It might slow me down for like 1 hit, but it's rather inconsequential compared to what could be happening. So I'm left with that 1 balloon after all that I'm going to be using in Cossack 4 for a little fast skip versus using Rush Coil. Climbing on up, heading into Square Machine. Square Machine is huge RNG factor. Just through pure RNG, it's very easy to lose 15 seconds just right off the bat. So we'll see what he gives us. there's a 10% chance we get the fastest pattern. And we got the slowest. So this is called a 3, where he goes by fast and then medium like this, and then he's going to form. And when it forms, you can get inside of it and start shooting its weak point. Normally I take a D-boost into the boss to set up his firing in a way where he won't hit me. Pretty bad cycle, only got 3 hits in there. And we get a 3. Big disrespect from the game. 3-3 is not even the most common pattern. A 2-3, 3-2 is about the most common, so getting a 3-3 is just the game being mean to you for sure. But we should be able to take him out. We just got 1 more hit. Yep. So nice solid 2 cycle, even a little bit slow inside the cycles, but nothing bad. So next up, we're starting Cossack 3. It's an auto-scroller. There's not much that can be said about it. It's an auto-scroller, so there's lots of little strats for lag control, like limiting your movement and taking stuff out, kind of like in Dustman. But other than that, it's a very mellow stage with a good track. So I'm going to go ahead and do, if we have any donations or if you'd like to talk about anything, refresh people about the thing itself, feel free to talk for as long as you'd like.
We don't have anything new yet, but we still are working towards our incentives. We want the Celeste incentive to get the Core V Showcase, which I'm really hoping we get. And we have the Legend of Zelda, the Windmaker HD incentive to take a selfie with Ganon. That is the last speedrun of the night, so hopefully we hit it before then. If you'd like to help out, !donate in the chat. And yeah, there you go.
We got to get linked, or you got to get that selfie with Ganon.
Yeah.
You know? He's trying to make it on social media. We got to support him. He's trying to produce content. So no, very cool incentives. And again, thank you so much for everything for meeting this incentive. I love doing this hack, even though very scary stuff happening on screen. You can see the screen slowing down as I make these errors because there's a lot of stuff happening on the screen that shouldn't be. The stage is actually not very dangerous, so it's always a little funny and goofy when it goes wrong. Both Duckfist and Chelney in their runs in GDQ died in this stage, so it's kind of cursed for marathons in that way. So I guess I should be honored to embody and embrace the curse of a bad Cossack 3 in a marathon setting. So drops are a little scary here. Good tip, by the way. Those saws, you can kill them with the ring. Those saws are very annoying casually. Very small platforms. It's very easy to fall. So, and that's something interesting too that I think was very different for me as an adult when I got into speedrunning with Classic Mega is using weapons. Like I treated weapons like RPG items as a kid. Like I would never use them. I just wanted to always save them for the boss, or I just save them even if I wasn't using the boss's weakness. I would still save all the other weapons. But after learning the run, like it's just amazing how the tools the game gives you can be used so creatively to carve out the route. So it's been way fun. If any of you are interested in running this game, the community is thriving, very supportive, happy, cool community. So you're welcome to talk to me or anyone. You'll see lots of people playing it. So very fun run, and I highly recommend it to anybody that enjoys fast, fun platformers. So here we head into Cockroach. We're gonna do a little swag air moonwalk. Blah, blah, blah. Looks pretty cool. Time to take out the twins. So these guys are pretty annoying. But cool little swag hit there. You kill him with the shot and it goes down and hits his friend. So pretty cool. Gonna take a little D-boost there so that way I can hit him with the orb and he's out. So not a bad fight. That fight's also very consistent. There's a lot of very consistent fights in this game. And that's just interesting about Mega Man in general and a lot of platformers. Like my first exposure to speed gaming was Chelney and Almond City's race on GDQ from I think 2015, maybe 2014. I saw an article say, watch this Mega Man 4 race. And I was like, race? I couldn't even fathom what it would be like to race a Mega Man game. And so just clicking it and watching and seeing two people like almost playing complete sync all the way up to the end was just, I literally could not believe it. It just blew my mind. So years later, getting into this game, I am so grateful for the community, for Chelney and Almond City and everyone else, all the high-level runners that contribute their time and knowledge. But anyway, so here's the scary balloon right here, and we got it. Cool. It only saves a little bit of a time over using Tango. Tango's a much safer strat, but I like to go for it because I've gotten pretty familiar with it. So I just like to do it to stay consistent. So, very small stage, actually. Not very long, pretty easy, not very challenging. It's a nice break. Cossack 3 and 4 are nice little breaks. So, we had a runner recently I was watching who unfortunately lost a good pace to this stage, and he said, "It's not even a stage," and it was one of the funniest observations about this stage I've ever heard. That is not even a stage. So Cossack Catcher's very interesting. He's also affected in weird ways by sliding. You're gonna see me slide in the corner. It prevents him from moving while I'm sliding, so if you just time it right, you can get some good control over him. So yeah, this is Cossack. It's crazy that he's the boss and not Wily, so it's been a fun run. I appreciate you guys having me. What's this? Kalinka? Cossack? Is his daughter? Mega Man? What is going on here? I'm sorry, guys. This is unexpected. What is happening? Wily. Oh. Wow. Who would have known? Who would have known that it was Wily yet again? Like he in every Mega Man game. Sorry, that was another little deception I wanted to try to entertain. I'm sure a lot of you knew that it was going to be Wily, but I wanted to again try to create a little mystery for you. But yeah, so we're fighting Wily. Wily at least tried in this game. By Mega Man 6, he just throws on a pair of sunglasses and calls it good. He's like, this is enough of a disguise at this point. So, yeah, we're moving into Wily 1. Wily 1 is the Met stage, as you can see. It's all the enemies are Mets, and you'll never guess who the boss is. I'll let you guess. You'll probably get it. It's a Met. So, we're gonna head on in there and fight him. One of our last underwater sections. Something that I find very unfortunate, even casually, is the underutilization of the Rush Marine and the Tango Marine. The little scuba dealio you get for underwater movement. Oops, that was a little weird. Even casually, I feel like there's not a lot of opportunities to use it. So it'd be cool if there was some more cool Rush Marine action. I think it's a really cool item. Alright, so this is pretty much it. The Yoku blocks are thankfully passed very easily. If any of you have ever played Mega Man and had to mess with Yoku blocks, it is a huge pain to try to get through them, especially when you're trying not to die. But here's a fun fact about Yoku blocks. They're actually called Kozu blocks. I didn't know this until a user in chat once told me. He's like, did you know they're called Kozu blocks, actually? I was like, no, I could have sworn they were called Yoku blocks. And he said they're called Kozu blocks because you always falling off of them. And I was like, oh, wow. And I love that joke, and I've been stealing it ever since.
That's clever. So, I love it.
Yeah, I just was completely blindsided by that joke when it happened. I was like, oh, I did not expect that. So that was Met Daddy. Goodbye, Met Daddy. That's his real name, is Metal Daddy. So he was thankfully pretty good to us. We didn't bonk around or get hurt, so... But yeah, decent fight. So now we're going to head on into Wily 2. Normally we call this the dog stage, but now it's going to be the cat stage because we have Tango. When you have Rush or Tango Jet equipped, in order to fire the Buster, you have to have Tango on screen. So you're going to see me strategically summon Tango on screen even without intending to get on Tango, just to be able to use my Buster. And it turns out that you need Tango so many times in the stage that it's optimal to just stay on Tango throughout the entire stage. So it's appropriately called the kitty stage this time. So here we go. I'm going to switch to Tango. A little bit of weird timing, but we made it. Head on up. So pretty fun movement, and I actually really like the aesthetic of this stage. I kind of like the cool colors and the purple, and the music's good. So pretty fun stage to play, and hopefully we'll even get to see the really cool crazy Tango Jet D-Boost strat in the last screen. The enemy that lets you do it can either give you two patterns, and so If we get the one that doesn't let us do that, it's a little like, oh, but it's not bad. Hopefully we'll get the cool one. So, bop, bop, bop. Okay. Getting up here, so let's see if we can do it. Yeah, we're gonna get it. Ah. So pretty cool. Doing a little backward D-boost onto Tango as Tango's cruising through the air. You have to jump and turn backward at the precise time in order to get it. So some cool stuff happening here. We're going to fire a Toad Bullet. It's going to skip the life fill, because life fills take forever. We're going to jump to Drill, switch to Ring, and go ahead and take him out. The Drill actually disables Taco Trash's hitbox, so you can just walk right into him. Really, really, really easy to do casually. You just switch to the Drill, damage him with it on his forehead, and it just completely takes it off, so you can just walk right into him. So pretty cool fight to show off, because there's a lot of neat stuff going on with it, with the life skip and the hitbox cancel. So Taco Trash, yes, taco is the Japanese word for octopus, so it's like octopus trash. So I actually had a friend in college who was in the international program and came over from Japan, and he used to love word puns. Like, like when he was teaching me some little stuff, I never got like super good, but he told me that "don't touch my mustache" was for "do itashimashite," which is like "you're welcome," I think. And he really liked saying "let's get tacos," and I was like, and like every time he was like, "I mean octopus," and would laugh about it. I'm like, yeah, I know. So, good person. He's amazing. Really good Mega Man friend too. So here we're entering the refights. Big old casino here. All the robot masters that could do all the goofy stuff they did before, they're totally capable of doing it again. So all kinds of stuff can happen. This is truly a game that's not over till it's over. Even the last boss has some nasty RNG, so you can be on a really good pace coming out of refights, and you definitely can't rest or take a breath until that final hit. So this isn't his weakness, this is his soft weakness. Some people don't know this, actually, that bosses have two weaknesses, quote unquote. One actual like strong weakness and then a soft weakness, at least in this game, with the damage tables. So Dust is his soft weakness, and it's faster than both Buster and his actual weakness. Really nice Skull Shield from Skull there, he dropped it immediately. It's really good luck. It's one of the things you want to count on in this for good luck.
So it looks like we have a little bit of lag. Hopefully we can get that fixed. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and remind you guys that...
Working on it.
Okay, no worries. In the meantime, I'll remind you guys we are still doing the charity for global giving. If you guys don't know what global giving is, it helps send doctors and nurses and other frontline responders and the community in need. It helps them get masks and ventilators and other life-saving medical supplies to hospitals and clinics. So, if you'd like to help out with that, exclamation point donate in the chat. We are about $900 away from our goal, $7,500 for the showcase. So I really hope we can hit that before the end of this. I'm really looking forward to it. And we have some incentives. We have the Celeste incentive for the showcase, and we have the Windmaker Legend of Zelda incentive to take a selfie with Ganon. So really hoping that we can do that. I really want to see that selfie. I think it would be hilarious. So definitely, if you guys want to help out, exclamation point donate in the chat. Help us hit our goals. On top of that, if you missed anything from the speedrun marathon and you want to see it, like maybe you missed a game you like, you missed a runner, like your favorite runner, you missed a host that you like to see. Everything after the stream will be posted on YouTube. So if you'd like to see that, exclamation point YouTube in the chat. Thank you so much, Crash McCloud, for already sending it. Everything from the entire weekend will be posted over on YouTube very soon. Hello, everyone. Everything is not on fire anymore, I promise. We have extinguished it. It's good, we're good. But I do want to say thank you to everybody who sent a donation to help us put out the fire. So we got $20 from Zeos. They didn't put a message. Thank you so much, Zeos. We got $5 from Ian Keith. They say, the train might be on fire, but it still counts as a train. You know what? You're right. I can't argue with that. We got $5 from Omega Full. They say, get that $5 train rolling. Toot, toot. Hey, it's definitely rolling. And it's helping out a lot. Thank you so much, Omega Full. We got $10 from Rumble Drake to say, let's get that Celeste showcase. Heck yeah, thank you so much, Rumble Drake. And we got $5 from Anonymous to say, sending my energy to fix the technical difficulties. Your energy definitely helped us out. Thank you so much, Anonymous. And we got one more anonymous donation of $20. No message, but we appreciate it all the same. We're getting really, really close to that Celeste showcase, so if you want to help out, thank you so much everyone who did help out so far, by the way. But if you want to continue to help out, exclamation point donate in the chat. All of the proceeds go to global giving. And without further ado, we got Toad back in on here, and we're gonna go ahead and finish this run.
Awesome. Thanks for waiting, guys. Sorry, I don't know what happened. It just completely exploded. But let's get right back to the game. I'm gonna start the timer. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so our time's gonna be a little wonky just because I played a little bit before I realized that my internet decided to just completely blow up on me. So We're a little bit goofy on the timer here, but we'll see what happens. Even with the considerations about where I paused, we're probably going to cruise in at a low 40 something, so not too bad at all, really. And then we'll be able to move on to some Quickie World. It's pretty exciting, and I'll talk more about that towards the end. But here we go, Capsule. Capsule is just can be a heartbreaker. Many a run had quite the life until it came to Capsule, and Capsule had to say about it. So we'll see what happens here. We're gonna switch to Pharaoh. It's the only weapon other than Ring that hurts Capsule, but Ring is a very unfortunate backup to have to use. So he can appear in a lot of places, like a whack-a-mole kind of, at fixed places, and you basically want to just try to hit him with one of these charge shots. If you go fast, you can get double hits. I didn't really do that, but that's it. Time and low 40-12. Time's a little muddy, given all the goofiness, but not too bad. Not too bad.
I think regardless, it was a great run.
Thank you, thank you. And Wily is gone for good. After this, they made no more Mega Man games because he was done. No, thank you for the GGs, everybody. And we'll get going on Quickie World 2 here in a sec. Some interesting trivia. The artist who designed Dustman for this game in the Robot Master Design Contest, the artist when he was a child who designed Dustman, and he did Crystal Man for Mega Man 5 as well. He grew up and made One Punch Man. So
Really?
Yeah, even as a kid, he was working on some cool stuff.
Pretty neat. Well, thank you so much for the run. Do you have any shoutouts? I know you're coming right back, but do you have any shoutouts or any commentary for this game in particular?
Yeah, sure. Big shoutouts to, of course, Mega Man 4 community, which has really built me up over the past 2.5 years, both personally and in the game. Blows my mind what has happened since I started running this game, really. So, highly recommend it to anybody who's looking to learn a new speed game and join a cool community. So shout-outs to them. The tournament's going on right now. It's very exciting. It's going to start June 12th, and we just finished qualifiers, some top-level runners and that. Definitely recommend checking out that if you get a chance. Shout-outs to Fastest Furs. Shout-outs to the viewers. Shout-outs to everybody. This has just been super fun. And it's always good to get to hang out with cool people that you feel like you can play some good games with. So I really appreciate it, and I look forward to Quickie World 2 here in a second.
Wonderful. Well, we'll be right back with same people, but new game, Quickie World 2. So we'll see you in a little bit.